Previously on Lett Vlogs. A lot of people have asked me what it's like to be a public speaker, so I wanted to put together something to give you an idea. Well, as I mentioned, a lot of my videos have me traveling from place to place without any explanation whatsoever as to why I'm there in the first place, right? Most of the time that you see me in different states, I'm there on a business purpose. But I do get a chance to relax, which is what a lot of those videos are about. It's in between me working, I get a chance to go out and see some sights. But as you know, I live right here in Atlanta, Georgia, so it doesn't make sense to keep showing me travel all over the place without showing me having some fun right here in my own backyard. As you can tell from my last video, I did used to do seminars about real estate investing in e-commerce, so I've always had this interest in real estate. So you probably won't consider this relaxing because it has something to do with real estate, but on occasion, my wife and I go on these home tours where it's about 10 different houses and it shows the architecture and how it's changed over the years in Georgia.
Hey, we're at a Christmas home tour today, so we're going to, I think, about 5 or 6 houses. And look, at already saying she's already told you that. But I'm just showing the line of people here because we are going to house number 2 on the home tour. We can't do any photo or video inside, so this is my only shot at telling you anything.
And I don't know if they do it every year, but on the 4th of July, there's a place called The Square in Marietta, and they have a bunch of eateries, music, all sorts of different things happening there. It's really just a place to get out and have some fun. Occasionally, you'll hear me use the phrase, I got your mama doing this, or your mama's doing that. The reason why is because I used to shoot a lot of these videos for our kids back then, because my wife and I would be everywhere. We'd be out of the state, and just to update the kids on what's going on, I'd always let them know, hey, this is what me and your mama are doing. So don't be offended, I'm not talking about your mama.
We got your mama out here in the umbrella and we just ate.
But it's perfect skin.
You got a whole bunch of people out here serving food and singing and doing a bunch of activities at the square. So we're just walking around to see what's out here. Some people way up there at the top are already performing and whatever. They got a live band and some other stuff. Happy 4th to you. Say something.
Leave it smoking.
Goofy.
We got a chance to go to SunTrust Park, which is the new Brave Stadium. Honestly, I can't even remember because it's been so long ago. I don't even remember if we saw a baseball game. The only thing I remember is that it rained. We must have saw a baseball game at some point because when we got there, it looks like it was daytime, but when we left, it's obviously the evening time. So I know we didn't sit there the whole time just doing nothing.
I just did. You didn't know you were in it.
Oh, okay.
I was teasing you.
Oh.
There's this place called Skyline Park. I don't really think it's like an official park per se. It looked like something that they just threw together for the weekend. It was kind of cool though. It had some food and some games. It even had some rides, some music and everything. It was just something for us to get out on the weekend.
So now I'm on this, going down this. I'm gonna see how far, see, I gotta hold on to this bar here and then I'll be able to pull myself a little faster. So I'll see how this goes. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Woo! This is your first shot. Get as close as you can without going too far.
Our daughter came up with this idea to go visit a pumpkin patch. What do you do at a pumpkin patch? I don't know, but our daughter came up with this idea just to have an outing as a family. And from that perspective, it was a great idea. So we just got in the car and went up to, I think it's a place called Bert's Pumpkin Patch or something like that, or Bert's Farm is what it is. And we had a good time. We didn't get on a hayride, but there were hayrides there. There was pumpkin pie, a bunch of little arts and crafts, those sorts of things. It was just something to get out. We just liked any old excuse to hop in the car and enjoy the sunshine is what it is.
Not staying on.
And I know you think you've seen some pumpkins before, but you probably haven't seen any pumpkins look like this. We're at Bert's Farm in Georgia. We just decided to get out a little bit today and do some little family outings. So this is where we stopped off at Bert's Farm. This is pretty cool. See my daughter and wife out here? This wasn't even planned, but right after we left Bert's Farm, there was this sunflower farm that we saw. A bunch of cars were pulling over there, so we just pulled over, did the same thing, and we hung out there for a bit. Well, so I'm out with my family this weekend, and my daughter came up with this idea for us to go and do some family stuff. We've been to a pumpkin patch today. We've gone, we skipped the hayride. We did get some pumpkin pie and a few other things, but we're now at this sunflower farm. And so we've just been getting some photos and videos and good stuff like that. And you can see my daughter and my wife up here already walking around. So we're just doing some more family stuff, getting some photos and enjoying a good Sunday. Hope you're doing the same.
And so when it slows down,
that's why I'm gonna take my purse off.
I got a video of this.
because I want to run. But I gotta be in some flowers.
Okay. I don't know how I'm gonna run in flowers.
Look, here's an opening. Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You can't really run in it.
Oh, okay, look. You just right here. Oh, run through? Right here? Oh, cool. Look. Oh, right. Okay. I'm gonna come back towards you. Okay. Good. Further, Mom. A little bit further. All right.
I'm missing out in life, man.
Hi, I'm Rob Lett. I don't know if you do this very often, but it is really nice to get your family together sometimes and not have a destination, not have a schedule, you know, where you have to be certain places at certain times, because then you can do just relaxing things. Like on the way home, we just saw like a little scenic point. I don't know if you've ever seen those. It almost looks like a rest stop, but it's designed for you to pull over and maybe get some video or get a couple photos or something like that. But we just pulled over and we saw this little scenic spot, and it was nice. We just hung out there for a little bit.
I'm gonna push you. This is the best family time ever. We don't have a destination, like a real destination, hanging out.
When I used to travel a lot for the seminars, almost all of the guys that I hung out with, all of them owned firearms in some form or fashion. I really wasn't into firearms like that. I think I owned one at the time, but it turns out that we took a trip to Arizona, and after taking that trip to Arizona, all of a sudden I had an interest in firearms. I only had one, and all of a sudden I felt like I needed about 4 or 5. I even went back home to the gun range and got a membership there for my wife and I, and even started getting her some lessons. One of the guys there, his name is Warren, really cool guy. He was teaching my wife some basics about shooting.
You dipped again. So, but if you hold it up more, then it's just the barrel coming up. You want that whole gun to sit as flat as possible.
Oh, okay.
So tell me when you're on the target, where you want to hit it. So
Right above
you want to hit right above that middle?
that. Yeah.
So wherever you want to hit, cover it up with that dot. That dot should cover where you want that bullet to hit.
Okay.
Got it?
I think so.
Finger on the trigger.
Stay there. Okay.
Did better. You didn't dip that time. So put that dot in the cup.
Ready to go.
See your hits. So you can see the difference when you start dipping down. I want to see something. So, same size bullet, just bigger gun.
Okay.
Try it with that one. So fill that gap up. There you go. So you see how you're pointing that gun straight up now? Put that ball so it's sitting right at the top of that cup. So if I do this, you should still be able to see the whole ball. So can I show you the difference? What you're doing is you're getting it, and when you start pulling, you're actually pushing forward with this arm because you're trying to compensate for the kick.
Okay.
These guns are so light, I'm literally doing it with just my trigger finger and my thumb. That's all. It will not move. I promise you.
I'm doing this.
You're doing, like the last second, you're dipping down. That's why you keep hitting low.
All right, and you remember how I told you to charge it? Turn the other way.
Like this?
Other way. Remember he told you to pull? There you go. Gotta get you drinking some more smoothies. Some more protein.
All right.
Okay. Yep.
Like that.
Yep.
Two on top of each other. 1 foot forward.
Make sure the dot is in the front.
Oh, I keep forgetting my dominant eye. Dominant eye.
I really wish I had taken some lessons myself before I bought my first firearm, because the very first one that I bought was a Taurus 9mm, and it's a relatively small firearm. And I remember thinking I wanted a small firearm, one, because it's easier to conceal, but the other one was, I assumed, since I wasn't really a shooter like that, I assumed that there would be less kickback. Little did I know that apparently it's just the opposite. Some of the smaller weapons appear to have more recoil, or kickback as we call it, right? The larger weapons, the one that you would think would knock you on the floor, are the ones that, because of their weight, actually have less kickback or less recoil. Apparently what I'm doing, I learned today, is that I guess sometime when you pull a trigger, you end up pulling off to one side. And so one of the things Warren was telling me today is that if you'll look, a lot of my shots are pretty accurate, but they're right, just to the right of the X. That comes from the fact that I keep pulling over to the right. So if I can fix that problem, I'll most likely be right there. So I just have to, so I'm not a bad shooter. That was from 15, 17 yards out. I'm still a new shooter, so it's not, I know for people who are veterans, it's like, that's nothing. But for me, like, that's a big deal. So I just have to figure out how to be able to hone that in so that I'm not pulling off to the right. But we had fun today. My wife been able to shoot, so some of the rest of these shots, we got to set separate targets up. That way I know where she is. But I know she's been doing pretty good today. She's been out here. She's been out here in 9s and 8s. So we just have to figure out what the best weapon is for her, because the one we were using today, she got more recoil out of it. She had a Glock 43 today, and I think the last time she shot with a Glock 19. Well, I got my first burn today. Hadn't really gotten a burn before, and that's right there. It didn't really hurt much. I mean, it's just a burn from when I was shooting the AR-15. One of the shells actually popped out, and I just felt it on my arm, because I think I had, when you're holding a rifle, your arm is kind of tucked in like that, so it landed right in between there. Doesn't really hurt much, or at least not now, but I definitely felt it when the shell landed. But anyway, I'm kind of happy today because I'm getting more and more equipment for my collection. So I got a bag today. See my bag? So I got a bag for my AR-15. My wife bought me a holster for Christmas from a PT-111. And I'll probably get 2 more, and that's about it. Now here's the nerdy side of me that comes from being a real estate investor. You might not have known that before Atlanta was called the city of Atlanta, it used to be called the city of Terminus. As many as 1,000 trains per day used to come into the city of Terminus. I guess that's why I call it Terminus, because it was a terminating point. But until this day, 22 miles of railroad surrounds the major interstate here, which is called 285. And so someone came up with a thesis for college that since all of these neighborhoods are interconnected by the light rail, it was the heavy rail back then, they decided to connect all the neighborhoods with light rail, pull all the heavy rail stuff up, put light rail down, create some walking trails, all this stuff, biking trails to connect these neighborhoods. And it was a huge, huge development, billions of dollars in terms of a project. I don't know where they are now in terms of completion or how far they are in completion. But anyway, this project is called the Beltline. And whenever we get a chance on a sunny day, whether it's one of the bus tours or going by moped, walking, bike, whatever it is, just an excuse to get out, we usually find ourselves somewhere near the Beltline. The place that I'm in right now is called the Tunnel. It can barely be called artwork in there. It's really more like graffiti, but it's still sort of a landmark and everyone knows where it is. Right. Oh, it just says enjoy. 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 My wife coming out the tunnel.
Everybody just love. He said, "Oh, cool, it's gonna be in your video."
If you've ever heard of Stone Mountain, Georgia, it's not just a city. Stone Mountain is also a park and a monument.
Wait, don't stop. Keep on walking all the way to the bowls. And you guys cross the yellow line to be into the safety zone. All the way over.
Wait. Don't go ahead. Go ahead. Now go up a little bit more.
Maverick, come here. Come here, buddy.
Stonewall Jackson. That carving is 90 feet by 100 and it recesses at its deepest point 42 feet into the mountain. That chiseled out area around it is about 3 acres. You can fit 2 full-size yellow school buses on the backside of the middle horse. Stone Mountain is the largest piece of exposed granite in the world. We're actually only seeing about 10% of it. The rest of it goes underground an estimated 2 to 3 miles, stretches out 10 miles to our east and 2 miles to our west. The mountain is 825 feet above ground, 1,686 feet above sea level. We're going to pass Blue Car on the right. It's going to look like they're going faster than us, but both cable cars go the exact same speed. Hello, Blue Car. Bye, Blue Car. We're running the cable cars continuously until 8 o'clock tonight. When you're ready to come down, just head into our building. There's an area next to our gift shop, has a line foreman. Go ahead and get in line and we'll get you down on the next available car. You can also walk down. It's a 1.3-mile walk to the bottom, and we're running free shuttle buses throughout the day that go back to the main parking lots. When we get to the top up here, we're going to go over a white tower. When we go over that tower, the car does just a little bit of a tilt and swing, so just make sure you hold on to something.
We've been there a number of times for things like 4th of July picnics, concerts, walking in the park, hiking, you name it. Believe it or not, they even have an event there when it snows. My wife's a photographer, so if you ever see her walking around with a big camera in a lot of my videos, that's the reason why.
You know, up on top of Stone Mountain. There's my wife here. Walking towards the edge as far as we can go. Just probably sit down and have a drink. It is hot out here today.
What house is that with all that water around it?
I don't think that's... Well, we made it up here to the top of Stone Mountain. There's a bunch of people up here walking around, just drinking because it's hot today. And so my wife is way out there. I don't know if you can see her with her camera. She's way out there getting some scenery from across Georgia. Well, here's me pushing the envelope all the way up to the warning sign, but I'm not gonna go any further. Nope, we got up here to Stone Mountain today. We got some photos, got some videos, and some things that I wanted to do. And of course, we took the sky lift up here. It's kind of hot, so we didn't really feel like hiking up here to Stone Mountain. So I'm gonna walk back up here. Your mom's already up there. She's up there taking some photos or something. She's at the top. I think I see her. You can probably see her just a little bit over the horizon with her camera. If you hear this rattling, that's my ice and my juice. Because it's hot. Another day, I'll take the hike.
If you know who Diamond and Silk are, they had something called a Chit Chat tour, which made its way through Atlanta. We figured it'd be a fun event to attend.
Well, I am here at the Diamond and Silk Chat Tour in Atlanta, Georgia with my wife. And so there's a ton of people here, as you can see.
Actually, there's a lot more people, but they haven't started talking and everything yet during their speeches. But right now they're just doing some photo sessions, so it's a pretty cool time here, and just wanted to let you guys know what was going on in Atlanta. It was fun watching everyone get their photos taken with Diamond and Silk. There's one lady, I swear she must follow them from state to state, because she had like 4 or 5 photos.
Give yourself a big old hand. Wow. Thank you all so much. Wow. Oh, we love you more. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh my goodness. The last Chit Chat show of the year. Yeah. I can't believe all you all showed up for this. Okay, so first, keep your cell phones out. We'll do a few poses so you all can take some pictures right quick. Cut the music back over, all respect. We'll do a few of that. Right now, go ahead.
Overall, it was a great event. I didn't realize actually how funny they were until we saw them in person. We got the chance to meet another couple there named Greg and Diane, who we still text back and forth to this day. Cool couple. Unfortunately, I couldn't play more of this video because there was music being played in the background that I can't play on YouTube, but we had a great time, and of course, we actually got a chance to get a photo with Diamond and Silk ourselves. On the next episode of Rob Lett Vlogs. I've been to Louisiana numerous times, but something happened on this last trip to Louisiana that changed my life forever. You're not gonna believe who I found just walking around here in Louisiana.